Yeah, I know.
I know, it's crazy.
All right, so we are actually live. So everybody that is currently watching, welcome to the Read With Friends live show. We are just on here. We read together. We're going to let you guys know who we are and what we're currently reading. So I'm going to go ahead and put everybody's links down in the description box. I'm updating that right now. And while I'm doing that, we're going to start with Jess, and you're going to say a little bit about your channel and what you are currently reading. We are just on here.
I forgot to mute my phone. Sorry.
That's okay.
Hi, my name is Jess, and I have a channel called Reading with Jess. I mostly read thrillers. I'm starting to get into more hard-hitting romances, but pretty much horror, mystery, thrillers is what I prefer. And tonight I'm going to be reading more of 11/22/63 because this thing is humongous and I'm a slow reader. But I just hit the halfway mark. So I just hit 431 and I'm loving this book, by the way.
Cool. Let's see. Next we have Allie.
Oh, hello. I'm Allie from Mrs. Dunn Reads, and I read a lot of romance. I read a lot of thrillers. I read contemporary over on my channel. I can be into middle grades as well because I try to read what my students are reading. But tonight I'm participating in the Romanceopoly readathon with Jess, and I'm reading Tweet Cute. I am only like 30 pages into it, but that's what I'm reading tonight. I have no feeling so far.
Read that one.
Because I'm only 30 pages in, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cute.
It's supposed to be cute.
Nice. I think I heard that that's a hate to love.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like your
Okay.
classic YA hate to love. It was really cute.
It seems complicated though. There's a lot going on even after you like.
Yeah,
Like,
at the beginning it is kind of
okay.
info dumpy, like because you have to figure out who everybody is in relation to each other and why they don't like each other, but
Yeah.
it worked out.
Don't they fight over like a grilled cheese sandwich or something?
Yes.
Okay.
They
I love
did.
grilled cheese. I would fight. Sorry. Give me that grilled cheese.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Oh, whoops, my screen changed. Rain, you're next.
My name is Rain. My channel is Brews and Binds. I mostly read like mystery thrillers and horror, but I also read some fantasy. Occasionally I'll pick up a romance, but I'm reading No Exit by Taylor Adams right now. And I'm probably like 80 pages in, and it's super fast paced and makes my heart race like crazy. It's so good so far. I'm loving it.
Such a good book.
Yeah.
That book is amazing, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I
Loved
loved
it.
too. Gabby, you're next.
Hi, my name is Gabby. My channel is Gabby Reads, and I mainly read like thrillers and romances, but I'm getting more into like horror lately, and yeah. And I'm actually reading Tweet Cute right now too. I'm listening to the audiobook for that, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm like on part 5 out of 9 or so I'm like halfway through it, and it's really cute so far. Like I haven't been reading a lot of young adult, but I really like that one. And then I'm currently reading Happy and You Know It, and this one's like a contemporary story. It kind of like, the premise just kind of reminds me of Big Little Lies. It's about this girl who's like a young musician, and she takes a job working for this playgroup of moms, and they're like overprivileged babies, and they're just like, I don't know, like they're just like cool moms, and they're all like rich and stuff. So it's just like super entertaining. I'm only like 30 pages in, so I just started it this afternoon, but I'm liking it so far, so I'm gonna be reading that one.
Chantel, you're next.
Hey, I'm Chantel from the channel K Books. I read mostly romances and thrillers, and I'm currently reading Dying for Rain, which is the 3rd book in, I think it's the Praying for Rain series.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I only just started it, so I'm keen.
Wait, is that the 3rd one?
Yeah.
Haven't gotten
I
it.
wasn't the biggest fan of the 2nd one though.
I wasn't
I'm
either.
Yeah.
Just skip over your feelings for book 2 and read book 3.
Book 3
Okay. Yeah.
Ashley, you are next.
I'm Ashley from Ashley's Book World. I'm kind of newer to YouTube and doing book videos, but I've been reading since I was little. I read a lot of fantasy books and romance books, and I like historical fiction type romances too. And I'm reading Emma, which is a buddy read I was supposed to finish in April, so I'm trying to get it done on the last day of April. So.
Amy, you are next.
Hi, I'm Amy. My channel is Amy Reads, and I mostly read thrillers, contemporary, romance. I like a little bit of like fabulism, magical realism as well, some light sci-fi. And tonight, I don't have my dust jacket on, but I'm starting the Grace year, and I'm really excited.
Did you say the Grace year?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just saw your video earlier, Jacqueline, where you're reading this month as well.
Yeah.
So
Good.
yeah,
You can watch my spoiler vlog later then.
I know. I was really excited. I was like, yes, now I can watch, because I couldn't watch last month, or the last one that you did, because I haven't read it yet. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm only on page 10. So I finished up a book earlier today and started this one. So yeah, I've heard only good things. So I'm excited.
Nice.
I loved that book.
I'm wanting to read that too now that I have, 4 copies.
You have about 15 copies, sure.
Yeah.
It's such a good book.
It is.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody dislike it so far.
Oh my god, the
Yeah.
biggest fangirl moment the other day, but you know.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
I
I wanted
have.
to copy with you, Ellie.
Mm.
Marcy, you're next.
Hi everyone, I'm Marcy from Marcy Reads, and I usually read horror, but I do read a little bit of everything, fantasy, thrillers, but mostly horror. I adore horror. And today I'm reading An Arc of the Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. I'm only 40 pages in, so I don't know much about it, but I think it's like zombie-esque almost in a way, so epidemic. So I'm excited.
I can't wait for Paul Tremblay's Survivor song to come out.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm so excited to read that. Molly, you're next. Wait, did I already do you?
No.
No, okay. Sorry, I forgot because everyone moved around and I was like, wait, who did I do yet? So Molly, you go.
That's all right. Hi, I'm Molly from Mind of Molly. I mainly read fantasy and mystery thriller, occasionally contemporary. Tonight I'm reading Shutter House by Rick Wood, I think it's called. It's a horror thriller about a girl that goes to rob this house and then like shutters go down on the house and like lock her in. It seems to be quite a short read, so I'm excited.
Sounds interesting.
Mm.
Molly, I don't mean to interrupt. What was that book? What was the book you were reading last week? Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Unfollow Me? Unfollow me or follow me?
Unfollow Me, and you said it was super good.
The one that I was reading?
Yeah, Molly.
Yeah, by Charlotte Duckworth, it was called.
Okay.
That was really good.
It sounded really good.
Yeah, I bought it because of you.
I added it to my Goodreads. I'll have to find it one day. Maybe when my library one day opens again.
Oh, I miss my library.
I know.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm using my Libby app like crazy, but
Even if I couldn't read from it, I just miss going in and checking out books that I'm not
Just
going
like
to read,
looking
but
at all
just
the
the
new
fact
releases.
of checking them out.
Yeah.
Well, they're not even letting me return the books I've got. So I'm like, I really hope I don't
yeah,
lose them.
same. I
Yeah.
guess they don't want everyone returning and then their, receptacles outside are full of books.
Yeah, true.
Or anything
Yeah.
about it. So
Yeah.
Jessica, you're next.
Hi, I'm Jessica from Peace Love Books. I mainly read romance. I have some fantasy on my TBR for May though, and 11 whatever.
2263.
Thank you. That's on my TBR, so I'm excited to read that. But today I'm reading The Day of the Duchess by Sarah McLean. It's historical romance. I'm about 200 pages in. They're already married, and she left for 3 years, and she's back, and she wants a divorce. And he said, "I'll divorce you if you find me a new wife." So that's like the premise. But obviously they're gonna
What?
love. So
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah, it's like
Wait, what
Bachelor
is-
though, so they invite a bunch of women to his estate
Wow, I actually feel like I'd like that book.
Yeah. If it's like The Bachelor, I'm all for it.
Day of the Duchess. It's book 3, but I haven't read the other ones. They can be read as standalones. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's like almost an adult version of The Selection, I guess, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But he wants to win her back, so he's not interested in any of the girls.
Okay. Got it. Gwen, you are next.
Hi, my channel name is Gwendolyn Kinsinger. I read a lot of thriller, contemporary, poetry. I think that's about it. Pretty much, I don't know. I'll try anything. I have read a couple of classics lately, like Go Me, So Proud of Myself. But tonight I'm going to read The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. I'm reading this because Jackie compared it to Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Parrish, one of my all-time favorite thrillers. So I had to pick this up, and I am on a book buying ban, so my husband got it for me, which is kind of cheating because like he's my husband and we share money, but it counts, people. I personally didn't take money out of my account to buy it. So anyway, that's what I'm reading. I'm only like 75 pages in because I haven't read in like 2 days, but
I cannot wait to hear your thoughts about it. And I actually received the recommendation from Jess, from Reading with Jess. She was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna like love this book. And I was like, have you read Behind Closed Doors? And then we were like, we swapped and we were like, you read this and I'll read this. I lost my place. Let's see. Alex, let's do you next.
Hi, I'm Alex from the channel Hooked on Books. I read a pretty wide range of everything, mix of YA and adult, mostly contemporary and fantasy. And tonight I have it on my phone, so I don't have it to show you, but I'm going to be reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which is the second book, sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have heard from a bunch of people that this is their favorite book in the trilogy, which I feel like doesn't really happen with second books in trilogy. Usually that's the worst one, but I'm like a quarter of the way into this one and really liking it so far. So I hope to get through it pretty quickly.
That's like my secret obsession, Sarah J. Maas books. Like not a lot of people know that about me. They're like my little secret. Yes.
I stopped after the first one. I was like, what is this?
Of A Court of Thorns and Roses or Throne of Glass?
A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read Throne of Glass. I read like the first 2, I think.
Book 2, like she said, is so good.
I have it on my shelf. I just was like, what is this? Should I pick it up or not?
You gotta read it.
Yeah, you should.
Sophia, you're next.
Alrighty, so I am Sophia from the channel Sophia Reads. I read a little bit of everything, but I would say like mystery, thriller, and literary fiction are the main genres that I get into. But today I'm reading a graphic novel. I'm reading Persepolis. This is a graphic memoir about a girl who grows up in like revolutionary Iran in like 1979 is when it starts. And I am just like about 20 or 30 pages into this and I'm just loving it so far. I've cried like 3 times. So I would really recommend it. I don't know if have any of you guys read this one?
No, but I've heard really great things about it.
It's so good. Yeah, it's interesting. You see the revolution from like a child's perspective. So the stories are like really interesting. But
yeah, that's kind of how Saga is, because isn't it told from their kids' perspective in Saga?
Did you say Saga?
Yeah, I think that's how Saga is. It's told from the kids' perspective.
Yeah, so I read the first volume, I want to say, of Saga back in college and really liked it too. But yeah, similar.
I don't know if they answered or not. Crystal, you're next.
Hello, I'm Crystal from Crystal Marie Books. My channel is basically a whole slew of everything. I like to say that I appreciate all genres because there's nothing that I won't take a chance on, but at the same time, like historical fiction I struggle with and stuff like that. But majority of my channel is horror, thrillers, exciting books, and some fantasy series that I enjoy. And today, well, I actually have 2 books here. I'm reading Under the Dome by Stephen King, which is kind of my book study right now. I'm kind of tabbing everything and going over everything. And then I also have The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, just in case this starts to slump me a little bit, because it's starting to get to that point where I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
It's so long too, so you
It's
feel
so
like it's
long.
forever.
But you know what? It has like the quarantine aspect to it, so it's kind of like, you know, fitting for the time right now.
It's interesting. That was actually my first King ever, was Under the Dome.
Oh, really?
And I actually, like, I ended up really, really loving it. I think I gave it 4 stars. There's a lot of characters. Like, there's that whole character list. I think there's like 30 plus different
I
perspectives.
keep referring back. I'm like, who are these people?
But eventually you do adjust, I guess, and
Yeah,
you know who's who or whatever. I think I struggled more with the massive amount of characters in Needful Things, and like I feel like Needful Things needed a character list, but Under the Dome I found that one easier to.
Oh
yeah,
I disagree. I read Under the Dome and I hated it. It was so long, and then I didn't like the ending. It was
there's so
The
many
ending's not
mixed
the
things
best.
about it. So many mixed opinions that I needed to do it for myself. So
yeah.
Excited to see what you think of it.
yeah.
I like Stephen King's shorter books, like Pet Cemetery, and like the
Yeah.
longer ones kind of drag out for me. But
I agree.
Yeah, The Long Walk was pretty good.
Marcy, have you gotten around to that one? I know you're reading them chronologically, or
Yeah, I'm currently chronologically, and we haven't gotten to that one yet. I think the last one that we're up to is Cujo or Firestarter, one of those. It's one of the earlier ones. I think we're like 6 books into our read along.
I really want to read Firestarter.
Yeah, I haven't read that one yet.
I love the movie. I'm thinking about like that might be my next one, or I don't know, Gabby's gonna read Salem's Lot, so I'm about to hop on that.
Salem's Lot is my favorite Stephen King book.
I'm in the middle of that one right now.
It's
Ben
probably a
Mears.
weird time to read this, but has anyone read The Stand?
No.
Yes, I have read
Who
The
said
Stand.
yes?
And
Crystal?
Yeah.
me, yeah. It's I love it. I think it's great, but it's very
love it
relevant
too.
to what's going on today. So for sensitive people, it's not great to read right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, not right now, but would recommend The Stand when we're not in a global.
Yeah, when we're in the clear, it's something to relate to now.
It's so good. Yeah, really. Maybe it's different now, but
yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Kat, you're next.
Hi everyone, I'm Kat. My channel is Kat Chats, and I read mostly thrillers and contemporaries, but I'll kind of read anything. And tonight, speaking of Stephen King, I'm actually going to start it, which I'm very
nice.
I'm scared of just because of how long it is. Like, I know the story, so that doesn't scare me, but it's so intimidating. But so I'm cheating on my May TBR and starting a day early because it's so long.
It's amazing. I hope you love it. It's one of my favorites from him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's my favorite too that I've read.
Oh my god. Okay, that's good because
So
I think
far.
many people don't like it, so I'm scared.
I haven't read it. I'm scared of it. I'm scared.
Yeah, I probably would never. I like the movies, but it's too big. I'm so scared of how big it is.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Okay.
Did I get everybody? Rain, did I get you?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's your turn.
Okay. Everyone had moved and I couldn't remember.
Sorry, my fault.
No, that's okay. Okay, well, yeah, so I'm Jackie or Jacqueline, and my channel is Read With Friends, which is what you guys are on. And I love thrillers the most, like the craziest psychological thrillers. And then I also read romances, but they normally tend to be like taboo romances, minus credence, and very emotional romances, because I want like me to either be crying or like to feel something rather than just people having like sex throughout all the books. I don't know. I am like Kat gonna get a head start on my May TBR, and so I'm gonna start reading What Lies Between Us. I think that's the title. It's the new John Mars book because I have it on NetGalley, and I think it actually comes out like May, I don't know, 15th or whatever a Tuesday would be, I guess. But yeah, so I'm going to start that on my Kindle. And someone in the comments said that they're also reading it and that it reminds them of behind closed doors. So now I'm like super pumped because I've heard so many people say that it's a good book. Like a couple people commented on one of my other videos. When I was asking like what people's favorite thrillers were to enter into my giveaway, and a bunch, actually like 2 or 3 people had commented this book, even though it's not out yet. So that was like really cool. So I'm really hoping that it's a good book. So for those of you that are watching, we are going to mute for an hour and read. So you guys can just keep YouTube up, and I mean, we'll be muted, so we won't be making any noises. But you can always like mute your phone or something and read with us for an hour. We will still be like commenting in the actual comments because none of us can read for a full hour without getting interrupted. So if you have any questions, or if you didn't catch like what we were reading or something, you can always ask that in the questions. But we're gonna go ahead and come back. We'll actually do a little bit more than an hour because I like to end on an actual like regular time. So we're gonna come back at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So whatever that would be wherever you live. I have no clue. But yeah, so we're gonna mute now and we're gonna read. How's it going?
We're back.
Good.
That was a lot.
For those of you that are watching, I put another pin post so you guys can let us know how far you got in your book during the hour you read with us. We're going to go ahead and start with what we've been reading and how far we got. So Jess, you are first. Maybe she can't hear me. Can you hear Jess? The audio is weird. For me or for you?
I hear it when you talk.
It's like, yeah, it's going in and out.
I can hear it when you talk, Jacqueline.
We can come back to you if you want to figure it out. All right, Ashley, we'll go with you because Jess, you might have to put in headphones or something. I'm not sure.
Okay. I was reading Emma and I ended up stopping. It's like I think it's making my book slump worse because I'm in a book slump. So I switched to the buddy read for the BB Book and Book Club. The Duchess Seal. Loving this. It's so funny. Like the two main characters, they're hilarious. I'm loving this book.
Yeah, I saw you reading that and I was like, I didn't know she was reading that. I would have definitely commented. That book is so good. I love that book.
It's really good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a buddy read going on in my book club on Facebook, and then we're doing like a Zoom like boozing party because of that book too. So everyone's like preparing, reading it and stuff. I'm just gonna crash the party. I'm not gonna read the book, I don't think.
It's so good. You should read the book. It's so good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Gwen, you are next.
I read about like 85 more pages of this. I'm enjoying it. I don't see where it's going and it's bothering me, but no, it's really good. It is really good. It just all feels like this big con, but I feel like it's going to be one of those stories. It's like a con on top of a con on top of another con or something. But yeah, definitely getting to know more about the characters and stuff like that. So I'm about this far in. So yeah, about 40% or something like that.
Is that a thriller?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's like a domestic thriller.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't read the back. You know how we were talking about like spoilers for thrillers. I basically just went off of what Jackie said. She compared it to Behind Closed Doors, and then she said that Jess, I heard her explain that story about how like each one had read like either Behind Closed Doors or this one, and then they like said, oh, have you read this book? And they like basically read the opposite book, and they were like, oh yeah, it's really similar. So so that's why I picked it up. Yeah, interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, it gets better even like the further you get.
But it's weird because I did write like 2 minutes ago, like right before we like went back to talking and stuff, it like a passage of time went really quick. And I was like, oh, we're like in the future now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
Can't wait to hear. Allie, we'll go to you next.
Okay. Well, I stopped reading like after 30 minutes.
Yeah, I saw your comments.
Like I can't read anymore. But I did get 70 pages in to Tweet Cute.
Oh, that was a good amount.
I know.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good. But it's 70 pages in, you know? Like I think I've been reading a lot of adult romances, so going from adult into a YA is kind of throwing me off a little bit because it's very high school, like they're seniors in high school, and there's that whole just immatureness of like we're talking to each other on this app, but we haven't shown our identities to each other yet. It's just that kind of stuff. I'm like, just tell each other who you are and then you can date, and the book will be great, you know?
Sounds like everything I dislike.
I think it's just like, because I really do think it's just the switching from adult romances to YA. It's just throwing me off. Like, it's not a bad book. It is cute, but I don't know, maybe I'm like moving past the whole YA romance genre.
I'm right there
and
with
I feel like
with that.
Yeah, I feel like also like because you're married, I feel like it's really hard for me to relate to like reading about like teenage romances now because it's like you're in a whole different dynamic now, you know?
Yeah, that's true too. There's a lot more things that I'm reading. I'm like, this is so silly. Like, just talk to each other. But I really do think it might just be the genre now. But it's not a bad book. So if you
But that could just be also that trope you don't like. Like I had that was the trope in The Dilemma by B.A. Paris where like they just weren't talking to each other. And I was like, the whole book would not happen if you talk to each other. So.
Yeah, that's the worst when that happens.
Yeah,
Like
the whole miscommunication or no communication trope drives me crazy.
I mean, this is more like for like a little bit, like if they don't communicate, like, but I mean, after a while, like chapter and chapter, you're like, okay.
And that frustrates me more in an adult book because I'm like, you're adults. Like, kids, I at least, I usually will get frustrated with that, and then I kind of step back and go, okay, they're teenagers. Is it a little more realistic? Maybe, but it's still frustrating.
For this book, it's more like they're talking plenty to each other. They're just talking on this app that keeps their identity a secret.
Right.
But it's like
but in
everyone
real life,
knows
they're enemies.
Yeah, in their real life, they talk still, and they're enemies, and they don't like each other. So I'm just like, just say who you are, and all of that would change.
You've got mail retelling.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. Okay.
You should try the audiobook for it, maybe. Because, like, I've been listening to the audiobook for it, and, like, hearing you say that, like, yeah, like, I think if I was just reading it physically, I'd probably get super annoyed, too. But the audiobook's, like, super cute. Like, I don't know, like, the voice actors just really bring it to life. So, like, maybe I would try that. But, like,
I'll look into that, because reading it with my eyes only, I'm like, y'all seem so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially I don't like that like miscommunication thing because I feel like as an adult that's like what you try the hardest is to be like, okay, I need to like communicate efficiently, or like even in like my marriage, it's like the marriage books I'm reading about, it's like all about communication. So like I do not like reading about that in a book because I'm like, why are you not talking to each other? Like
Oh, and I just realized I was originally gonna listen to the audiobook, but you know how Scribd does that thing if you listen to like one romance, you can no longer listen to any romances. I listened to a romance on Monday, and it says I can't listen to any more until the 22nd of May. Like it completely skipped April. So I'm like, I was originally going to listen to the audio.
Yeah. I've been having a really hard time, like even finding the audio. Like I haven't even hardly been listening to any audiobooks on Scribd, and it's still like there's not as many audiobooks now available for me anymore compared to like compared to what it used to be. So I wonder if like the more months you have it, the more it doesn't like you. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. That should be the opposite.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm loyal.
Yeah.
Bizarre that they limit how much of a genre you can read. You're paying for the service, right?
Yeah, but it's like it says it's unlimited. You know, that's what Scribd says. But then once you read one or two of the same genre, they like wipe out the rest of the genre for the month until the 22nd. So.
What do they care?
Say unlimited. I wouldn't care if they were like, okay, you can only have 3 audiobooks a month.
Yeah, that would be better.
They could be limited and have like no rules as to what they restrict.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being punished because I want to read a bunch of romances.
Right. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it used to be like I could listen to like 3 or 4 audiobooks, and now I feel like I can only listen to like 1 or 2 now. It's like it gets like shorter and smaller.
I have to be super strategic. I'm like, okay, I can listen to one romance, and I'll listen to a thriller, then I'll listen to something I don't want to listen to because those are the only 2 things I really read. So it's annoying.
Jessica, we'll go to you.
First, Allie, do you have Kindle Unlimited?
No.
Okay, because I have Audible Escape, which is like $8 on top of Kindle Unlimited, and it's amazing and I love it. And it's unlimited romances. It works like KU where you can take out 10 at a time.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. But I got about 80 pages into The Day of the Duchess, and it's super cute because he's like realizing his mistakes in the past, and her 4 sisters are with her there. 3 sisters, I think there's 4 of them. And 2 of them had the previous book. And so our 4th sister doesn't get a book though. This came out in 2017 and there's no book 4. And they like hint at her romance with like the main character's best friend. And she doesn't get her own book, which I think is sad. But I really like it so far. I can't wait to finish it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you can read so fast.
She reads so fast.
Yeah, that's awesome. Such a nice talent.
What a gift.
That's what I want my superpower to be.
Like, have you watched The Flash where he literally reads a book in like...
Yeah, that'd be so awesome. Except it'd be really hard to do a wrap-up video then.
Yeah.
Chantel, you're next.
Okay, cool. I started on 8%. I'm reading like continuous scrolling, so it doesn't really give me pages, but I'm up to 33%. So I think I read a bit and I'm loving this way better than book 2. Like it got straight into it. I feel like I can't even say anything because it's so spoilery to the first book, but I will say that I can't stand Carter's parents and I'm getting so frustrated. So frustrated.
Yep.
I remember how book 2 ended, and it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, well, it jumps straight, like it's like the next day in book 3.
Beautiful. I love it.
She just moped around all of book 2, so it was very.
Yeah, I feel like nothing happened.
There was no point.
No.
All the action is 1 and 3, and that's it. So.
Yeah.
And the treehouse scene in 2. That was like the only thing I liked about it.
Yeah. And with the title saying Dying for Rain, I'm like praying that Wes doesn't die because he's like literally the only reason I read this book.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Sophia, you're next.
All right, so I ended up getting to page like 86 of Persepolis, although I did go down like a whole rabbit hole of watching like documentaries on YouTube about this period of history because I feel like I don't know that much about it. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really great. You guys should read it if you like graphic memoirs, that genre. It's fantastic.
Sorry, I was replying to comments. Gabby, you're next.
I got about 120 pages into Happy and You Know It. And so far it's good. It's like, I can't tell if it's like thriller vibes or not, because I know like this isn't really a thriller, it's just a contemporary, but I kind of like it because we get the point of view of like multiple women in their like cool moms group, so you kind of get to know like more about like their lives and like I don't know, all the things that are going on with them. So I'm enjoying it so far.
I'm excited to see what you think because I just signed up for book of the month because I really wanted the guest list.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what to pick. None of like, I'm not sure about any of the picks this month, so I don't know what to get.
I skipped
Yeah,
this
A
month.
Good
and
Marriage
I never
I've heard is
skip.
really good.
What were you saying, Marcy?
I said that I skipped this month and I never skip. I always get like 3 or 4 books in the month, and this time nothing called out to me either.
Really?
It's so sad. I can't get book of the month here.
Yeah, I don't get book of the month, but that Kimberly McCreet book looks really good because I've read 2 of her other books and one was a 5-star for me. So I feel like that one would be pretty good.
Yeah, that's the one I picked, but I was a little skeptical about all the legal stuff involved in the book. So
Yeah, I think Gwen, was it you that was talking about how, you tried to read one of her books and like, I don't like legal thrillers at all. But I gave that one book 5 stars and like, I didn't feel like there was a lot of legal stuff in it. Like, I guess once you got into the story, I don't remember.
Yeah, it didn't have a lot of legal stuff in that one. I just didn't like the writing of that one. So I was worried that, is it a British author? Where's she
I
from?
can't remember.
Because I guarantee it is. Or, I mean, nothing against British authors. But I
She didn't mean it. She didn't mean it.
But I think it's something about their writing that I just can't get into.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I've
the
been
same
reading
way.
too long. I mean, there have been like ones that I've liked, of course, but I don't know. I tried that one. I made it like halfway through, and I put it aside for months. I mean, the last time I tried it was like November or December, and I literally would not even care to pick it up ever again. So that shows me how much I wasn't even caring about what would happen. So then that's why I was worried, because I don't like legal, stuff in thrillers, those type of thrillers. So I was like, ooh, I didn't like the writing, and I don't like this type of thriller. So probably not for me.
Yeah. Amy, you are next.
So I read like 60 pages of The Grace Year. And this is going by so quickly. This is so easy to get into. So who all has read this? I know Molly.
I have.
Okay. Did you all like it?
Yeah, I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I think everyone liked it.
Yeah, this honestly isn't a book that I would like. YA dystopia is not something I gravitate towards necessarily. I actually had a galley of this from the galley and didn't read it, and then it got archived. And then a friend let me borrow it. She was like, "Oh my God, I just read this. You have to read it." And that was a few months ago. And then like you all have been talking about it. I'm like, okay, I got to read this. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. She's about to go off for her Grace Year. And so
it's gonna get real good.
Yeah.
It gets real good. I was gonna tell you, like at the beginning when you were saying you were reading it, I was like, well, the beginning's a little slow, but if you're loving it already, then you're gonna love it.
So easy to get through. Like I was shocked at how, because I'm not a slow reader, but I'm not a fast reader. And oh my gosh, I'm getting so much read. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. The last couple books I've read have been like 2 stars. So I'm hoping that this is going to be like 4 or 5, but
I really hope you love it,
I
Amy.
know, fingers crossed.
Read it. I'm so excited.
This is on my May TBR, so I'm actually cheating as well and starting a night early. Funny is, I was always very like, okay, so it's my May TBR. I can't start a book until May 1st. Like, and it would, I would have like a day or two and I'd be like, oh, shit, what am I going to read? Like,
Amy, if it helps, just tell yourself it's May 1st in England.
It's May 1st.
Yeah, there you go.
Hanging out with Molly. So I'm going on her time.
Yeah, that's where I want to be anyway. I would love to be in the UK. That sounds awesome. But then I saw some booktuber and they were reading something before and I thought, well, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you finish it in that month. I mean,
right.
I'll read a book and not finish it till the next month, and so I don't count it until the next month. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I just start a book? I'm not going to read it all tonight, so what does it matter? So anyways, but I'm liking it. So I've got high hopes.
You'll have to keep us updated.
I will, sure, in the chat. I have
it on hold, so that makes me excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kat, you are next.
Okay. So I got about 85 pages in. I like don't really have much to say about it because like even though it's kind of like a good amount, it's like so little of this book. It's good so far. I'm down to read more of it, so we'll see.
Why did you cry?
Oh my god! Well, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but if you've read it or seen a movie, there's like a scene where this gay couple like starts getting beat up.
Yeah.
Cry, but yeah.
By the end of that book, I think I cried for 2 weeks straight because that ending just hit me. And I think about it and my eyes still tear up. It's crazy.
Oh no.
Oh, you cry because it's scary?
No, it wasn't. No.
Allie's the little like scaredy cat of the group. We're all over here reading about people dying and killing people, and she's like, "Is it scary?"
As scary as it is, it's good. Like it has such a good message at the end, and it really it sticks with you forever. That's just that type of story.
Oh my god!
Damn it! You guys are making me want to read it.
You should. I listened to it I listened to it on audio and it actually helped the length of it a little bit, and just I think it's a full cast if I'm not mistaken, and it just makes it go by quicker.
Yeah, I got the audiobook from my library, so I'll probably use that to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Marcy, you're next.
Oh, so I guess I'm a slow reader because I only got like 30 pages in, but I was reading and I just started feeling sick, so I had to put the book down. But I'm 66 pages in and we're still at the beginning of it, so it's a fast read and it's very gripping, but I don't know what's happening yet other than there was this kid in class and he just gets up and starts beating up on the teacher and like saying like these weird words, almost like if he's being like controlled somehow. And now there are some teenagers at a party and they're smoking and drinking. So I don't know really what direction it's taking, but it reads fast for as much as I read.
I'm excited to see what you think of that.
There's so many people reading it right now and praising it, so I'm hoping that, but it's reading easy, so.
It's a new release?
Yeah, it comes out in September.
Oh, cool.
Crystal, you're next.
Okay, so I got like 55 pages done in Under the Dome, and like Kat said, nothing really happens because it's Stephen King. So it was more so a lot of description of like where people are. And I just ended where this is kind of slight spoilers, but like the missile launch didn't work. So that's kind of like where I am right now with Under the Dome.
Yeah, there's a long way.
Yeah, so I'm still in the beginning, but getting to know the characters more, and I'm actually getting used to the characters now. Like I know who they are, so
cool.
Making progress.
Yeah. So you didn't have to pick up the other one at all?
No, I didn't actually,
Cool.
which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, good sign.
Rain, did you go yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm reading the ebook. So I'm like 41% now into No Exit. And yeah, a lot happened. There was like a huge turn of events that I did not see coming, because I get so worried when it comes to mystery thrillers when there's like such a small cast of characters that I might be able to like predict anything that's going to happen. And yeah, I didn't see that coming. Like, I don't know what the hell's happening. I really don't. So there's that.
That book is so good. I loved No Exit.
Yeah. And there's a lot more twists and turns that are gonna happen in the future. Like that book just like is like, whoa, like every time you're like, I was not expecting that.
I sent it
It's
to my
really good.
mom because I loved it so much, and she's like, "Oh, it's all right." I was like, "It's not just all right."
How dare you,
Mom?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing. It's pretty cool.
The whole time I was reading it, I was just like, I hope this never happens to me ever.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Gabby, did we already do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Alex, let me skip to you.
Okay, so I'm reading A Court of Mist and Fury, and I got through 10% more of it. So I got from 24% up to 34%. And I am still really liking it so far. This little section that I'm reading, right where I started, 3 new characters were introduced all at the same time. So it got kind of info dumpy at that point, just trying to see who everybody is and how they're going to play into the story in this next little part. But now we're getting into some action again. So I think I'm going to start enjoying it more. But yeah, I'm still really liking it.
Nice. Jesse, you're muted.
Okay. Is the
We can
audio
hear you.
there?
You're
Okay.
good now.
Sorry about earlier. I don't know what happened. I had to jump on my phone and do all this.
That's
But
okay.
I am reading 11/22/63. My goal was to hit page 500, but I just barely missed it. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hit like a small slow part, but then it's starting to pick right back up. I think it's just like more developing into the story of something else that's happening, and I just love this book. So if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it so far. And I'm just now over the halfway mark. So
yeah, I think I want to read it now that everyone's raving about it. And then I'll hate it, but it's fine.
Oh, you won't.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Well, stop hyping it up, everybody.
Wait, give it a couple months. Read it in like the fall when we've all shut up about it.
Okay.
Right. When it's
book
not
isn't-
cool anymore.
That book is in so many people's top 10s. It's been going around on Bookstagram, and everybody has it on their top 10. And I'm like, gosh, now I got to wait all this time to get to that book because I want to read it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to happen for me for a couple months, but eventually I want to read it. The fall does sound like a good time.
Yeah.
So much.
Molly, I think, are you the last one? I think.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, I finished it.
Okay.
I'm really
You okay?
I'm really conflicted. Like, it was really fast.